Somebody told me we were sharing alien encounter stories. Asked me what year. I do not remember. All I know is that I was older than 10, younger than 14. Prior to the physical contact, a few weeks before, a whole bunch of kids from our block, we were all outside and we saw a UFO. Of course, we're kids, so we're like, it's a spaceship. We run to where the parents are. They on the back porch having some wine coolers. We let them know. So they look at it. Now they freaking out. We call the police. The police like, well, what do you expect us to do? Arrest them? I ran in the house real quick. I grabbed my little Fisher Price camera. I took some pictures of it. And that was the end of that night. My camera did end up missing, like, by the end of the week. So I didn't have any photographs of that. Fast forward months later, I'm sleeping in bed. When I woke up and the cat was laying on my chest and looking that way, I was like, so I looked up behind, like above me, I was on the bottom bunk. My cousin slept on the top bunk. I saw some, like, first thing I noticed was some fingers, like over the top of like the bed frame. And I heard something say, like, get up. And I got up out of bed, and that is when I saw, I'm not sure if you guys are, if you know that there are different species of aliens, or, I don't know, do we even call them aliens? Because if they've been here longer than us, I don't know what to call them. Okay, so-called aliens, there we go. And at this point, I had never seen anything that looked like this. To my knowledge, the aliens look like the aliens from the movie Predator, or any other of those movies. I had not seen this species, which later I found out were grays. He told me to come into the living. I can't even say it was a he because I didn't see no genitalia. But we're just going to call it a he for lack of better words. He told me to come into the living room. Everything, all the communication that they had with me was telepathic. And they could hear me, I could hear them. I go into the living room and let me just start off, let me just interrupt real quick to say, I noticed a lot of people that are sharing like encounters with extraterrestrials, they were all taken from their home. And I am so grateful that these extraterrestrials did not take me from where I was comfortable, to my knowledge anyways. They came to me. They came to where I was. They didn't take me to any spaceships. They didn't tie me up, and they did not probe me. I didn't have to do anything involuntarily. Like, they asked me to come into the living room. I went into the living room. And once I went in there were maybe 6 or 7 more in the living room as well. And they were kind of standing in a circle. And I was instructed to go in the middle of the circle. Now, I knew I was there because they wanted to observe me. I wasn't sure at that moment why until 2 more of them parted and one came out with a bundle, and they walked over to me and they gave it to me, and it was a baby, and it was not a human baby, and it was not a gray baby. It seemed to be some kind of hybrid because it looked human enough to where I know that it was human, but it had eyes similar to theirs, and it didn't have, like, our nose is obviously like a nose. The nose was more like, I hate to say it, I'm so sorry, Michael, but how Michael Jackson's nose ended up being. Sorry, but that's the best example I could give. Oh, rest in peace, King of Pop. Anyways, they had me hold the baby, and they literally just watched me interact with the baby for a good, probably hour. And they let me know that I was holding this baby because they wanted to observe me with this baby. Now, what is strange about this is I don't like to hold babies. I was not the one to observe with a baby. I held my babies just fine because they were my babies. But you know, some people are like, oh my gosh, can I hold your baby? Or who didn't get to hold the baby? I'm never like, me. So, I didn't mean to mess up their data, but I mean, I didn't mind. They probably could have got a better reaction from somebody that would have been like, coochie, coochie, coo, hello. Like, I literally just, like, held the baby, made sure the baby was comfortable and everything. They got the information that they wanted from me. They took their baby back, and next thing I know, I was back in bed. I woke up like, wait, was that a dream? fact that I don't remember going back into my bedroom, I don't remember the steps that took from like leaving their interaction, I wondered if it was a dream. But I knew it wasn't. So I went to my mom, I told her, and she's like, oh my gosh, did they take you on a wheel? And I'm like, what? I literally just told you what happened. No, we were here the whole time in the living room. And what you doing? Because you're my mom. Like, you just gonna let a living room full of aliens be here and you don't even hear nothing? Where's your mama senses at? I didn't say that. But in hindsight, looking back, this is what I'm thinking now. Maybe a couple weeks, and luckily my mom believed me immediately, but she know I had already had like supernatural encounters. And one day she read a newspaper article, and I had described to her like what they look like, because that was like the best I could give her. I'm like, she was reading some newspaper article and she calls me in there to look at the photograph and the picture, and she's like, look, this looks like what you described. And we looked, and that is how I found out that the species I had seen are called the Greys, because that's exactly what it looked like. Now they, like, their nose was basically like two dots or like slits, or the baby had a little bit more of a, that's neither here nor there. To my knowledge, I have not encountered anything with them anymore. I know some people have multiple encounters, and if they have had any other contact with me, they kept it real low key because I don't remember. But that is my experience.